heard so much about this trade issue between both sides in recent weeks. What's at stake here?
Well, a lot is at stake, especially for Germany's car industry. The US is, of course, a huge export market for them, and nobody wants to see a trade war. The German car lobby is already extremely anxious and worried about Brexit looming and all the uncertainty around that. So Berlin has been extremely concerned, and even before Donald Trump came to power, because before that he was already taking to Twitter to attack the German car industry and saying that there was a trade imbalance. And more concern, of course, last weekend when we saw the US Secretary for Commerce send a letter to Donald Trump recommending that he introduce tariffs on cars and, of course, car components. This would be devastating, of course, for the German car industry and for car manufacturing parts. And Angela Merkel herself, the German Chancellor, she addressed this topic last week at the Munich Security Council. She took it quite as a joke when she said, look, we're allowed to be proud of our cars, but she also pointed out that a lot of those cars are in fact made in the United States. And she said the biggest plant for BMW was in North Carolina and not actually in Bavaria, where many would think. And another German business industry in the car industry, he said that these kind of tariffs would be an attack on the German soul. He said that Europe should not let itself be bullied by Donald Trump. So as you can imagine, this is a huge topic today in Bucharest as European trade ministers sit around the table together. We've already heard from Cecilia Malmström, that's of course the European Union's Commissioner for Trade, who's been involved in these talks for the last couple of years, and she didn't have any mention or didn't even allude to this report, this recommendation by Wimper Ross last week. She said she hadn't seen it, so she wouldn't be speculating. But of course, if she said if those tariffs were introduced, it would be bad, and negotiations with the United States would have to, of course, be postponed for the moment. But we'll have a little bit more later when we hear from Cecilia Malmström in a press conference later today in Bucharest.